Hello, students. The poem that we are going to take up today is Beat Beat Drums by the great American poet Walt Whitman. See, Walt Whitman, or whose name was Walter Whitman, was a great American poet, essayist, journalist, and humanist. He is famous for his works entitled as Leaves of Grass and Drum Taps. And one of his elegies, which he has devoted to the memory of late American President Abraham Lincoln, entitled as One Last in the Dooryard Bloomed, uh, gave him much recognition. This poem is actually a great narrative poem. It was first published on 28th of September 1861. This poem was written by him as he was very much agitated by the American Civil War. So the poem captures uh, the notion that uh, how much the people of a country suffer when a country is at war, as well as it also uh, reflects the actual condition of a country which is at war. So let's have the poem now. Beat, beat drums, blow bugles, blow. Through the windows, through doors, burst like a ruthless force. Now, here, drum and bugles, we very well know that these two instruments, musical instruments, are very much associated with war in olden times. Whenever the war was declared, these two instruments were blown. So, here the poet has symbolically used these two instruments in order to prophesize the, you can say, commencement of war in America. He says, beat, beat drums, blow, bugles blow. Through the windows, through doors, burst like a ruthless force. He invokes people to beat drums and blow bugles, and he says that the sound produced by these two musical instruments should be so loud that it should cross all the windows and all the doors, and it should strike people with great force into the solemn church. Now he's just depicting what kind of people are affected by or should be affected by the sound of that drum and bugle. He says, into the solemn church and scatter the congregation. He says, first of all, the sound should reach the church, which is you can say a very pious place, but the sound of war the should reach also there. Indirectly he wants to say that war even does not spare holy places like churches, even they get affected by this. So he says, into the solemn church and scatter the congregation. The sound should go to the church, and it should affect the people whosoever are there, who have gathered for praying. It should affect them even. Into the school where the scholar is studying. Again, the same thing. See, school, church, these are the places which are, you can say, uh, can be treated as holy places, which are meant to gain knowledge, which are just meant to spread kindness and good faith among people. But even these cannot be spared when the war breaks. When the war breaks. So here the poet wants to say, earlier he said that the sound should reach church. Now he says that the sound should also reach the schools and the scholars who are studying over there in a peaceful mind. Those people who are studying over there, it should disturb them even. Leave not the bridegroom quiet. No happiness must he have now with the bride. See, when the war breaks, there is no peace of mind anywhere. Nobody is happy. Nobody can enjoy life. Nobody can party. And here he depicts the same thing. He says there is a bridegroom who is getting married, but he should even be not allowed to enjoy his this new chapter of his life, because it's wartime and he should also be snatched away from his happiness and be hurled into the fire of war. So he says, leave not the bridegroom quiet, no happiness must he have now with his bride. That means that bridegroom who has nothing to do with the war, even he cannot be spared in such a time. He will also have to participate in this war, and he can now have no moment of happiness, of togetherness with his bride. Nor the peaceful farmer any peace, ploughing his field or gathering his grain. And the war, the sound of the bugle and the drum should reach the farmer who is very calmly, peacefully ploughing his field, or rather, he is busy in his field work, like gathering the grain or ploughing. Even he should be disturbed by the sound of the war. So fierce you whir and pound you drums, so shrill you bugles blow. Again he invokes the one who is blowing, that you should pound your drums, you should just make so much of noise out of your drums and bugles, that it should be very it should create a great impact upon the people, and each and every segment of the society must be affected by this. So here indirectly the poet wants to say in this stanza that whenever there is wartime, not even a single section of the society remains unaffected. Directly or indirectly, we all become a part of that war. And this is the most pathetic situation whenever a country is at war. Next lines. Beat, beat drums, blow bugles, blow over the traffic of cities, over the rumble of wheels in the streets. Again, the picture changes, shifts towards the cities. He says again invokes the beating of drums and the blowing of the bugle, and he says now the sound should spread over the traffic of the cities, and the cities which are all the time in great hustle and bustle. The traffic is moving on the roads. Now that the loud sound of that traffic should be surpassed by the sound of this bugle and this drum. Are beds prepared for sleepers at night in the houses? No, sleepers must sleep in those beds. He says it's wartime. No one can have a moment's respite. How can a person sleep at night when it's wartime? No one has got peace of mind. So he says he's just asking question in order to emphasize his point. He says whether people are preparing for sleep, beds for sleep, but we all know no one will be able to sleep in that bed. No bargainers bargains by day, no brokers or speculators, would they continue? And when it's wartime, even the activities related with the finance or economy of the country, they get disturbed. The markets, the stock markets, they collapse, and everywhere there is a financial crisis. So that's what has been highlighted over here. He says no bargainers will be able to bargain, neither the brokers will be able to speculate. Can they continue in such in such in such a time when everybody else is indulged in war? How can these people be able to continue their job? So the answer is no, no one will be able to continue with his job. Would the talkers be talking? Again the same thing. The the answers to all these questions is negative. He says, would the talkers be talking? Will we be able to talk freely? No, nothing of the sort will happen. We all will be overburdened by the fear of war. Would the singer attempt to sing? And can any singer be able to sing in such an environment? The answer is no. How can? Because singing and dancing, these are the activities which we do when we are happy. These are the things which come on our own when we are happy, when we want to celebrate or enjoy. But wartime is no time for enjoyment, so naturally there will be no singing. No singer will ever attempt to sing. Would the lawyer rise in the court to state his case before the judge? And even in courts, who will fight the cases? because everyone will be indulged in war. So there won't be any cases in the, no one, no judges will hear the cases, no advocates will plead the cases. There will be nothing of this sort happening in the courts. Even they will also get affected by the war. Then rattle quicker, heavier drums, you bugles wilder blow. Again he invokes the drums to to be beaten very heavily, and the bugles to be blown very wildly. That means he simply wants to say these two have been used as symbol, and the sounds created by these two instruments just you can say emphasizes the fact that wartime is a time when everybody is suffering, and this is the time when where everywhere there is the you can say anarchy rules, and people are afraid of their lives. That's what is being highlighted by the poet through this poem. Beat, beat drums, blow bugles, blow. Make no parley, stop for no expostulation. Mind not the timid, mind not the weeper or prayer. Again, he says, when the wartime comes, there is no time for thinking or for meditating or for just partying or for mixing up or for social gatherings. Nothing of this sort happens. And there are no meetings, there are no discussions. Had there been discussion, there would not have been any war. But he says the wartime does not care about these things. So in order to invoke this thing, he's in the feeling of war, he says that war does not care about the shy or the uh, people who are weeping or praying. When it's wartime, people are fighting ruthlessly, then nobody cares about those people who are praying for the safety or weeping. Mind not the old man beseeching the young man. And he's picturized a sort of situation in which a old man is probably requesting his son not to participate in the war, but it is not possible. Everyone gets indulged in this, unknowingly or unknowingly, willingly or unwillingly. Everyone has to participate, and one has to bear the brunt even. Let not the child's voice be heard, nor the mother's entreaties. He says when it's wartime, there is no soft corner for anyone. Nobody listens to the children crying for their parents. Nobody listens to the mothers who are just requesting their kids not to do any nefarious thing. Make even the trestles to shake the dead where they lie waiting the hearses. The war is so powerful that it even shakes the dead out of their graves. That means even those people who have not at all interest in war, or who have nothing to do with any kind of war, even they are thrown into this. So this is something even in which even the deads are being shaken to participate. So strong you thump, oh terrible drums, so loud you bugles blow. And towards the end, he again says that this should be the sound of drum and bugle. It should be so emphatic, it should create so much of impact that each and every corner of the society gets affected by it. And people who are whether directly associated with the war or indirectly, they all are thrown into this. So somehow he says that wartime is something in which we all have to face the consequences. No one is spared for that. No one is spared from that. So somehow we can feel that he wants us to stay away from such thing in which there is no positivity coming out. So that's all for today.